Hi there, everybody. Welcome back, or hopefully welcome back. This is the first time here. My name is Jack. I'm and this is my channel to hopefully start up show the process towards the eyes of a soon-to-be entrepreneur. So, my business is going to be going to be in the idea of entertainment cafes, of tabletop gaming traditionally. And welcome back to another video. Originally I was going to do a cafe sort of thing today, and then I looked at the clock and was like, oh, it's been almost 2 weeks since I've done a video. I better do a little something, and obviously compared to the last video, I've been getting ready for Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals and all that such, and I've been watching guide videos, and it was like, okay, so I don't want to do another, deck profile, because I did that last time, and I don't want to be a one-trick pony. So I figured I'd go into some other stuff that I was definitely in depth for, and I thought I'd do a video talking about Dungeons & Dragons. Now, I don't know if a lot of you know of the game, but this is a great guide that I'm going to be doing of going to your first D&D campaign. So, obviously, some of you might be asking of what is D&D, if you're just here to support the thing. D&D is a tabletop role-playing game where you focus the role of an adventurer on a quest in a medieval sort of timeline. There's obviously the dungeon master who's telling the story, and you're traditionally the player. But anyway, I thought I'd do a guide as to good stuff to bring to your first D&D campaign. Now, this is going to be completely in the perspective of a player. A player, you got invited to a friend's house. He's going to be running a D&D campaign with a bunch of friends who have a little bit of experience. So I thought it'd be fun to sort of do, like I said, a walkthrough guide on best stuff to bring to it. I'm going to push this aside a little bit. I just realized it's catching the lamp, and that's just irritating me. But anyway, so if we could proceed to start, this is the best stuff to bring to your first D&D campaign. Players, leave a like if you'd like me to do a DM one in the future. So, this is a little heavy because there's a lot of stuff in here, but traditionally speaking, when I go to play D&D at the lounge I work at and with my friends, I like to have just a standard backpack. There's nothing particularly special at all. It's just a standard backpack you'd bring to school. Is a laptop backpack, but I think I got this, or excuse me, it was gifted to me. Got it from the my mother got it for me. It was at the IKEA for like $10. So. But yeah, you could basically use any sort of backpack for it. So definitely a thing that you may want to stop at your local hobby store to pick up first. We're going to explore some of the contents of the backpack. Excuse me. Definitely something you want to be bringing to a game is, obviously I have a fancy Doctor Who box. If you can tell from my poster way in the back there. But obviously you want... I'm going to dump all of them out. There's a lot of dice that I have, but definitely want to bring some dice with you. Dice are a big part of the game. Obviously, it's how you determine all the... what the hell? I got a Dice Master thing in here. Different game for a different time. Anyway, you definitely want to bring dice to a campaign because, obviously dice are how you make all the decisions, how you roll out your character. You need how to deal damage, or even just decide what you're going to face off against. Dice is usually a big part of the game. Obviously, most DMs or most players, there's somebody in the group that has some they can loan. I never like borrowing other people's dice because I just find it kind of annoying, especially if I do something like forget to give one back or pick one up and put it in my pocket or something like that without thinking of it, because it'll be like, oh, you dropped this, I'll bring it back to him next time I see him, and it's suddenly part of my collection, and 10 years later I have no idea why it's there. So, yeah, obviously I always like bringing my own dice. I have a dice to spare. My show-off thing is I have a... Let's see if I can't get this open. Fancy set of... Oh, god damn it. Whatever, I'll get it after the video. Fancy set of metal dice that I got as a gift from, what's it called? Dice Dungeons. carry on. So yeah, thing I'd always advise is bring dice. Now the other thing that you may want to bring that other players, at least one probably has, is the player's handbook. The player's handbook has everything that the player needs of like to just know the basics, how to build your character. It gives the great descriptions of like what class you want to play, what race you want to play, how you want to go about your character build. Something I advise and a mistake I made when I first got into the game, but I started out in Pathfinder, so I'm a very different person. But the thing I definitely advise is read the damn book. That was definitely my biggest mistake of getting into D&D is I didn't start by reading the books. I was just like, yeah, whatever, I'll figure it out as I go along. And I've, for the most part, half-assed my way through my time as a DM. But, yeah, like, even now I can still, like, flip to a certain page of, like, oh, you need to know what, say, Magic Missile does. I know that spells and spell descriptions are towards the back. If I want my races, I know it's the first couple of pages of, like, oh, wait, nope, I'm on class, never mind. But either way, those are still towards the front, and then you have things. It's good for being a player alone, of, like, the prices of basic items. So definitely bring a book if you have one. Now, obviously, you may not be able to get a book. You can get them real cheap for like $20, $30. In addition, I also think I have a Pathfinder rulebook on me for the 3.5, but I definitely recommend you get a handbook for whatever you're going to play. You can usually get them like $20, $30 online, or even cheaper at your local hobby store. If you're from the Massachusetts area, I definitely recommend Rivendell Books and Games. He's a really nice guy, and he's usually got some good deals on not just D&D stuff, but dice, the books, campaigns, even Magic cards and other TCG games. You can usually get a good deal there. But yep, continuing of and one more thing, if you can't, like, say you don't have the $30 or don't want to invest $30, you just want to hang out with friends, that's alright. Usually I'm recording on my phone, but usually if you go on, like, the App Store or Google or whatever, you can usually find a really good, you can usually find some basic PDFs of these books for dirt cheap, if not absolutely free. Like, I think there's a really nice one on the App Store my friend recommended to me. It's like $1, and you not only get the basic core rulebook, but you also get like homebrew stuff, like homebrew classes, homebrew spells. You get a lot of homebrew races. You get a lot of nice stuff. Personally, comes from my recent interest in the Dragon Ball series, but personally, I've been making all my NPCs for other players' Saiyans. So that's just my little tidbit of the thing. Thing I'd recommend, I'm gonna try to find a blank. But you obviously want to bring a notebook, and I'm not gonna go into nitty gritty about it, but obviously a pencil or pen or something to write with. It's always important to, like, obviously somebody's gonna be taking notes at the table, but it's even still, if you can, I always think it's good to take notes of everything they're saying, even if you don't. Obviously, don't do it like you're in a classroom or whatever, but, like, if you want to, like, write down something important, like, you need to go to, say, the town say you need to go down to the town of Idaho, and it's going to be like, I'm not stupid, I know Idaho's not a town, I'm just saying that. But, yeah, obviously, if you need to write down, like, go to Idaho, you can just do that, or you can write that information. Also, if you don't have a character sheet on you, like, you could go to, like, a blank page and go off of the character sheet model it gives in the book and use a piece of paper to write down a character sheet. That may also be a great thing that you may want to bring with you. Did I put those down? Because I know I pulled them out earlier. These are a little wrinkled, but they still work, of spare character sheets. This is a 3.5 edition, but yeah. A character sheet, like, if you've never made a character before, especially, that's definitely a good thing to have, to be able to just write it down on all the pieces of paper, because it comes in all the ways. Like, the front page, all your stats, your skills, your pluses, your name, your HP, And then if you go to page 2, you still have the spell list where you can write down your spells, your feats, your items, or whatever you need to write down. And it's very convenient for, obviously you can do that stuff on like a normal piece of, why is it folding like this? Anyway, obviously you can do all that on like a normal piece of paper. I generally do, but a character sheet does save you time and work. So if you have access to character sheets, I definitely recommend you print some out. And usually everybody at the table will love you if you print out character sheets for them. You'll be like the hero of the evening. I know I've gotten a free, what's it called? I can't think of what it's called. It's the fifth ed. It's a fifth ed thing. I can't think of it. Whatever. I know I've gotten rewarded for my actions for bringing character sheets for everybody. I don't know why I forgot how to speak right now. So that's a lot of the basic stuff that I'd recommend bringing. Again, the character sheets is definitely an optional one. The only other optional one that I'd recommend for everybody is you may want to consider also bringing the snack. You may want to consider bringing like snacks or drinks as well, of the account that obviously you don't have to be the founder of the feast if you were invited, but I always find that when I go to play a game, it's always nice to well, usually I'm hosting at my place or my work, so I don't usually have to bring the snacks, but I kind of find that when I play with other people that I always like to bring a snack bring snacks for everybody because, like, one, don't be the jerk that brings just snacks for yourself. That's kind of a scummy thing to do, of like, watch me enjoy my chips, while everybody's sitting there hungry off their ass. And vice versa, when everybody's hungry, it tends to distract from the game. So bringing snacks for everybody is a great solution to that problem, on the account that everybody will be focused, everybody will be happy, and everybody loves a bag of chips. And what are they, like $1 or $2 to bring a bag of chips, and everybody appreciates you? Maybe like $3 for a bunch of cans of soda. And that's really about all I'd recommend. That's really about it for all the stuff. Obviously, there's more stuff if you're a DM, and there's more things you want to focus on, but for the most part, that's the very basics of being a player. And I'm definitely forgive me. This is why I need to make scripts when I make videos. I'm the worst for like walking in my kitchen for like 5 minutes and being like, all right, this is what I'm gonna say. I know I'm gonna remember this, and then being like, Idaho. So oh wait, sorry. That's one more thing of definitely forgot that. You may also want to bring a little bit of cash. It's like, I don't know traditional. That's mainly if you're going to like a store or something to play the game. But like, even when you play with friends, of like, you might all decide to chip in for a pizza or something, or a bunch of burgers. Or if you're going to a game store, you might have a situation of I know this has happened to me before, where it was like, I forgot my dice, and so I just ran over and bought an extra set of dice so that I had something to play with that day. Because again, like I said, I like using my own stuff. But little things like that are definitely important to remember to being a new player of and if you follow the little tips besides just bringing stuff, like, for example, read the books. Reading the books is always important. I know this is mainly a stereotype for, like, TCG playing or tournament playing, but it's a stereotype that I think every game needs to have and every player needs to listen to. Before you even think about going to a game, take a shower, brush your teeth, use deodorant. Everybody knows who the smelly dude is, and you'll figure out you're the smelly dude when nobody wants to sit next to you. Or when everybody, like, maneuvers their chair away from you. Right, Lamp? Yeah. So, like I said, if you do little things like that, you make the room more bearable with not being a sweaty, gross nerd. Because we've already got the stereotype of being sweaty, gross. So, make sure you shower, brush your teeth, wear deodorant. Like, obviously, don't Obviously, don't like take that to an extreme level, or do if you want. I would prefer it. Like, obviously, you don't have to like wear a bunch of cologne, and obviously you don't have to wear a bunch of cologne and dress in a tuxedo. But at the same time, like, wear clean clothes. Just ready yourself for going to an event, as if you were going out in public, because you wouldn't go to work smelling like Shrek. Don't treat your friends with that sort of unpleasantness. So that's really about it for this guide. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I'd love to hear some advice as to what you'd all like to see for a future video of, like I said, a lot of it I want to focus on either cafe sort of like, or my interest in gaming, or tabletop gaming, which is why I just decided to dedicate this to I had to do this to a Dungeons and Dragons video. Definitely like this video and share it with your friends. I'd really appreciate that. Help me get my business out there. Is there some sort of thing you'd like to see? And another thing of like, excuse me, I brought up the option to do a Dungeon Master one in the future, and that's still on the table. Or the Game Master. I know that's also a term. I think that's a 4th edition term, or earlier, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, or hell, if you'd like to see any sort of content, just let me know what you'd like to see of me. I'd appreciate that, and I'm going to try to definitely see to all of your requests. Thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and best of luck to you at your first game, and have a good one.